a place to pour all of my love or sadness into. You'll see in this book that when I talk about crafts, I mean a wide range of things. But I do have a favorite. I first got hooked, get it, on crochet when I was on a national tour with Greece playing Sandy Dombrowski. I was 19 years old and had lost my voice, so I was on a forced 2-week vocal rest. I went to stay with my parents who were living in Memphis, Tennessee at the time, and since I couldn't speak, I wanted a project to help me pass the time. I went to a craft store, likely Michael's or Joann Fabrics, which are now 2 of my favorite places on the planet, and bought a book called How to Crochet. It was New Year's Eve, 1994, and I wrote the following entry in my journal. On this first day of 1995, I taught myself how to crochet. I think it's neat. I want to make people things. Since then, some of my proudest achievements are things I've created with my hands. Whether it be the penguin baby blanket I made when my daughter Emily was born, or the toilet paper roll cover I crocheted for Hilary Duff's wedding present. Because what else do you get Hilary Duff but a handmade albino octopus toilet paper roll cover with rainbow button suckers on its cream tentacles? Most recently, I decided to cross-stitch a Christmas stocking for Emily, similar to one my mother stitched for me when I was a child. My mom and I had a complicated relationship, and while I cannot find that stocking, I still have the strawberry shortcake bookmark she made me when I was 8 years old. That was during the peak of my obsession with the red-haired cartoon character. I had coloring books, figurines, and even a garbage pail, all store-bought. I find it so moving that my mother took the time to meticulously stitch that sweet girl in her poofy pink bonnet and white frilly apron into existence. She added my first and last name in red thread and a row of hearts in pink and green, then finished the piece with a calico border. I don't recall my mother saying, "I love you," often, but I do know that she poured her love for me into that bookmark. I tell my daughter I love her every day. But following my mom's example, I also make things for her as tangible proof of that love. Similar to the list of roles I've played on TV or Broadway, I have a hobby resume. For every production I was in or concert I have sung, there is a collage or stuffed animal that tells the behind-the-scenes backstory of my life. On set, I was making out with Peter Herman, one of my love interests and younger. In my dressing room, I was crocheting a pink dinosaur for Emily. Every piece I describe within these pages means so much more than the yarn or marker with which it was made. Each is a time capsule and heirloom, spanning my past, present, and future, and together they tell a fuller, more complex, and colorful story of who I am and how I want to be remembered. This is not your traditional memoir. I wanted to root my stories in the things I have made over the years, so the result is an overlapping, not unlike my most recent crafting feat, mosaic crochet. For this, you use 2 different colors of yarn at a time, switching back and forth often, working into previous rows. It is never straight across. You have to double back to make intricate patterns. The result is layered, colorful, and complex. I wrote this book for my mother and my daughter. The first, so I might better understand her. The second, so she might better understand me. 1. Crafting, a family affair. People often ask me if music or acting runs in my family, and the answer is no, not even close. But as it turns out, crafting does. Not in the home sweet home, my mama taught me how to cross-stitch when I was little way of Norman Rockwell paintings. My mother smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, as did my dad, and never taught me how to make anything other than a beef stroganoff using ground beef and Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. More on that later. But I do have a very clear image of her sitting on the couch of our living rooms in both Athens and Augusta, Georgia. We moved often when I was young, smoking a Salem menthol, sipping on Pepsi, and cross-stitching. I'm not sure why my mom chose this rather old-fashioned craft as a hobby. Maybe, like getting married and having kids, it was just the thing to do. I wish I could ask her, but she died at the young age of 66, eerily the same age as her mother, Lenora, from whom I got my middle name. Lenora did intricate stitching called tatting on handkerchiefs and linen.